A couple years ago, my husband told me that I was a bare minimum wife and mother. It's obviously upset me. I felt like I was doing everything. So as a stay-at-home mom who makes home-cooked meals every night with her children from sun up to sundown, eyes open to eyes closed every single day, what do you mean I'm bare minimum? So I took this very personally because he didn't really elaborate. Started doing all this extra stuff like making butter, making pasta from scratch, doing all this extra stuff. Now I'm in his face like, who's bare minimum now? Who's bare minimum me? It was still me. I was still bare minimum. He was looking for a wife and a mother who did her job and did it without an attitude. Saw her children as a blessing rather than a burden. Brought peace and comfort and light to the home. Now, this is something that I'm still working on, still working through. And recently it was something that I needed to be reminded of. Cooking, cleaning, feeding your family is the easy part. But what attitude you do it with?
Okay. So I hear a lot of men and a lot of women nowadays don't bring nothing to the table. You gotta settle with them. It doesn't it's pointless to get married. So that kind of reminded me of this topic. Do you guys think that most women nowadays are doing the bare minimum?
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
yeah, hell yeah. And the bare minimum is cool almost. But we just don't like the bare minimum with the attitude. Like when you complaining about the kids been acting like kids all day, and you saying that you can't clean up because you had to cook, and you saying that you can't cook because you had to clean up. Those are bare minimum duties. And
But okay, how often are spouses? I'll put it this way: how often are men involved in the household? And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this woman, but what I'm saying is there's this expectation that women are supposed to swing from the chandelier, keep her body right, keep her body tight, go to work, pay her half of the bills, do X, Y, and Z. And women feel that they have all of these different obligations, whereas the man, I'm just telling you optically how some women may feel, doesn't mean it's tied to me personally. But what I'm saying is that some women feel like the man, all he has to do is go to work. He's not active with his children. He barely wants to change a diaper. He barely will wash a dish. He'll take out the trash, but that's about it. Is that not a bare minimum husband?
He should.
So the first issue is usually you get the woman's side of the story. You never get the man's side of the story. How many husbands come out and say, my wife doesn't do ABCD? It's only recently, and it's been online on YouTube and things like that. But she's saying, women say, my husband doesn't do this, my husband doesn't do that, he doesn't help with the kids. For years, for centuries, we have heard all these things from the ladies, from the wives. But we barely hear the husband side of the story to tell us exactly what's going on. You know, but even then, very few times, I mean, the chances are small that women are paying 50-50. It's either 60, 70, 80%, even sometimes 100%, the man paying all the bills, but they still want him to come and act like he doesn't pay majority of the bills.
Didn't have to if you make more though.
so listen, so if
More though, that's not his job, right?
listen, so it depends on who
Well, it
doing
depends on the household.
Hold on, Jeff. It depends on who doing the heavy lifting financially.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
if you got a job and you don't have to pay all the stuff, that means you get to pocket your money. So working is a choice for you.
Yep.
It's something
That's
that
not
you
always
want to do.
okay.
Hold on, wait.
And you got to think about it too. Let's be realistic about households now that they are functioning with both the man and the women's income.
True. That's
So
right.
my thing is, if we gonna truly, if you want me to do that and do it with a smile, then you need to put a woman and position her in her femininity. You need to position a woman so that she don't have to feel that she got to do all of that.
No man should have to put you in your femininity. The same way women don't have to put men in their masculine, no man should have to put you in your femininity. You should either be feminine and you want to be, and that's who you are, or you're not. And if you don't feel like the man is putting you in your feminine, then leave. That's okay. That's okay. But no man is required to put you in your feminine energy. It's either you're a feminine woman or not. The same way a man would sound crazy to say, I need a woman who's going to put me in my masculine energy. No. You are either that or you are not.
Okay, so
That's
check
And
it.
not
that's
his.
not the
That's
case
And
for
not
that's
his.
why
women.
I don't do 50-50 in a relationship.
No,
I'm
That's not
that's
the case
not.
100%
for a lot of
man.
women. A lot of
Hold
women
on.
aren't positioned to thrive in their femininity.
No, that's not his job. That's the woman's job to put herself in her
I
own
disagree because
femininity.
I think that a
Well, no,
man can
No,
put you
that
in
is
a position that
absolutely.
you
Yes.
will
suffer
respect
That's
you.
absolutely. That's absolutely on the woman. The man
Yep.
doesn't put a woman in her feminine. The
You can
woman
put a
puts herself in her feminine.
thrive in. Yes, you
I went
can.
out.
No,
Hold
the
on,
man.
y'all.
The man.
I have one mic.
Hold on.
No,
Swing from
let
Hold on,
the
y'all. Hold on.
and then just go. One mic.
Hold on, y'all. I want to let Jess speak because she's been kind of quiet and she hasn't taken class yet, so that we get her together. But I still want her to speak so that she can get her thoughts off. Go ahead, Jess. Jess. I want to make room for you. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. And once again, you can't seem to have an opinion on this panel without it being tied to you specifically. But what I'm saying is what I hear from a lot of married women is that they do a brunt of the work in the household, which makes them, now I have an attitude because all you did was go to work and you came home. I cooked, clean, took care of the kids. Then I got to go to the gym, keep my body right, because then you might cheat. Then I got to swing from the chandelier, and all you had to do was kick your feet up and eat this rib dinner that I made you.
Okay, but you never hear from the husband's side of the story. Sure, you hear from the women, from the wives, but what about the husband? He hasn't told you his side of the story. So you cannot just take her side just because you're a fellow woman. You need to hear both of their side of the story. That's why men don't like to go to therapy with their wives, because apparently even the therapists, who are usually women, take the wife's side of the story. So men are like, I mean, if no one is going to listen to me, I will just shut up and do my own thing.
But if he's paying 80% of the bills, he should have.
That's not realistic for a lot of households. A lot of households have a woman's income tied to it, which means a lot of times the woman is also paying half of that household and still having to do a brunt of the work.
Okay.
I mean, in that point, she's right. If we're going to be fair, if everyone is bringing 50-50 to the table, okay. But with all the women saying my money is my money and his money is our money, I really doubt everyone is going 50-50, if we're going to be honest. With all the conversations about women not want to go 50-50 and they want providers, or they would rather be single and independent, they would rather do bad by all themselves, I doubt so many women are actually going 50-50 with men, if we're going to be honest. So the small percentage of women who go 50-50 in bills with men, I agree. The man should, he do his duty and, help out with the household activities, chores, right? But for the men who are paying majority of the bills, even if it's 51%, he pays 51%, she pays 49%, he pays the majority. I mean, in that case, hey, listen, he's paying majority, you do your other side of the roles.
Okay,
So-
then that's
so
a
let
horse
me-
of a different color. Yeah, that's
so-
a horse of a
Is
different
that
color.
let me-
fair? But now
so-
I got an attitude.
The Jazz, you need
So let me hold on, 2K. Let me speak to that real quick. Let me speak to it real quick. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 6 children, right?
Wow.
How
And
many
I'm gonna
looks
put
good.
myself. And I'm married, right?
So-
And
your
I've
kids
been
about
married.
when?
I've been married to
Your
my
kids about
husband I've been married to my husband for the past 8 years.
Shout out
Listen,
to her.
all
so hold on. Let me cook this. Let me cook,
Oh,
sweetheart.
cook,
Let me
cook.
cook. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna break it yourself out there, but I'm a very transparent person. This is my second marriage. I'm a part of a tribe right now. This is my second marriage. My first marriage is nothing like my second, okay? I have 6 children. I've had 3 children before I got into my second marriage. So I'm gonna tell you the difference. So what you're speaking of is what you.
Hold on, Kirk. Give me 1 second. What do you mean by you're part of a tribe?
She in a polygamous.
Oh no! Look.
monogamous relationship.
So, okay, I brought that out there just because I have certain tribal members or whatever that watch or whatever. So I'm saying I'm a part of a tribe, so I can acknowledge my people that may be watching or whatever. But I'm a part of ARNA. the Aboriginal Republic of North America. So
Gotcha.
that's
All
the
right,
tribe
go
I was
ahead.
part.
Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the first marriage, I was extremely unhappy. I was everything of what y'all are speaking of right now. I was unhappy. I was worried about being cheated on. I was trying to take care of my children and do everything. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was just very unpleasant and unhappy. And I was not happy with myself. I wasn't happy with him. I wasn't happy with anything. So push come to shove, we split, right? I did the whole, liberate yourself. I was a
Mhm.
liberated woman for a little while with 3 kids by myself. I did the single mother thing for 3 years by myself. That was
Mhm.
hell as well. I still wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with my life. I wasn't happy with anything. I got into my second marriage and I ended up having 3 more children. But the difference is I figured out that it's not the men that is not giving me the happiness that I need. It's not the men that are controlling how I feel. What I feel as a woman is just off of me, off the strength, off the muscle of what I am experiencing, what I am visualizing in my own mind. What I am what I'm allowing to plant the seed and grow in my mind, manifest. That is what's causing my distress, my pain, and all of the things that I was gripping and griping about every single day. Oh, I gotta wake up. I gotta wash these dishes. I gotta wash these clothes. Why he's not doing this? Why he's not doing that? I was going to have to do that anyway if I was by myself. So why is it the man's job to sit there and put me into my feminine when I have to be a feminine anyway, whether the man is there or the man is not? I have to choose to be happy whether the man is there or the man is not.
Hey, hold on,
If
hold
you
on.
want to wake up in the morning,
Hold on, Kay. Jess, go ahead.
I mean, she's cooking. Now, obviously, we know Jess, the feminist, is going to come back, but the married woman is cooking. It's true. It's not different from when a man, some guys do it, say they need a certain type of woman so that they can be a leader. Men usually don't say that, but some guys do. But it sounds ridiculous when a man says the same thing. So I agree with her. You're going to be single and have to pay your bills and take care of everything and still be a feminine woman. Why is it that when you get in a marriage, now you're putting all the burden on the man to pay the bills, to make you happy, to make you feminine, to make you feel this, to make you feel that? It's like he's only a man. He has to work 60, 70 hours a week and then come home and try to make you feel a certain type of way. Now you got attitude because he didn't take out the trash, and now you are leaving and divorcing him, and then you're single and now you have to take out your own trash. See, she's right, but let's hear what Jess has to say. Let's go.
I want to give you an opportunity to be able to respond and give your thoughts too, because I want this to be a conversation.
I absolutely do believe that you're missing a point. I get what you're saying. I'm not negating that there's some validity to what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, we'll use the Shannon Sharpe situation, right? A lot of the discourse about that has been, why wasn't he smart enough to bypass a woman who came with X, Y, and Z? So we'll take the situation and turn it into a household, right? As it relates to, give me one second, I just lost my train of thought. But I will say though, a lot of women feel that it is unfair. They're not happy because they feel like a lot of men aren't pulling their weight in marriages. And you can say that, yes, my happiness is my choice, and I will agree with you, but I also agree that there are situations that are not necessarily ideal to a woman thriving in a certain situation. So there go my point, and bring it right back. We can't get mad at a woman for having an attitude with you or being angry with you or not being the most feminine woman that she can be, because she's not placed in a situation to thrive in that. And I do believe that a feminine woman it shouldn't matter whatever situation that you're in, but I do think that there's levels to it. A man who's 100% providing, it's levels to it than a man who is requiring his woman to pay 50-50. It's just certain things that come with that. You're not going to get the same level of woman or femininity from a man who's contributing or paying financially 100% of that household.
Are you saying that there are no men who have been paying 100% of the bills and their women still giving them attitude? Are you saying all the married men who pay 100% of the bills don't have bitchy wives who talk back and raise their voices? Are you really saying that just a man paying 100% of the bills makes a woman happy? I could name a few names that we know. We could talk about Tom Brady. We could talk about Bill Gates. We could talk about a bunch of celebrities who have the money, and we could hope that, I mean, it's common sense that those men have so much money. They have everything women usually ask in a man, but their wives still divorced them. So for you to say that a woman's femininity depends on a man who pays 100% of the bills is not true. Women leave men every day who have money and who are paying all the bills. So clearly, like this married woman said, it's not a man's job to make a woman feminine. She either is or not. With or without money, a woman who's bitchy is always going to be bitchy, if we're going to be honest.
I'm just being realistic about that.
Hold on, Jess.
And a lot of women would agree with that. Y'all can sit up here and act like you
No, that's fair. That's
disagree,
fair.
but it's
That's
levels to it.
Jess,
So
hold on.
then we pay all of the bills, making sure we're taken care of. Yeah, baby, I can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and make a sandwich. But if I gotta go to work the next day at 8 o'clock, just like you do,
But listen,
baby.
are you going?
Wait, let 2K go next. 2K again, and then Michigan. 2K, then Michigan.
Okay, so Jess, like, okay.
If you want a feminine wife or woman, you have to position her.
No. Jess, okay.
And I'm
So
standing
what both of y'all saying kind of right, because listen, so when I told my wife to start working and I started paying 100% of everything, she
changed it.
No, she was still pissed off about the amount of shit that she had to do in the house. So it was her mindset, what Kamara was saying, because she didn't want to embrace it. And then after a while, it started to break into it. Then she eventually became that. But if her mindset never changed about the household duties, she still would have felt like, oh, well, I'm doing this, and she was being miserable about it. But when she just accepted the role, okay, let me do this, and I got the rest of the day off, it became so easy. It's clockwork now.
I agree with 2K. Some guys pay all the bills, and then their wives start doing the housework. They don't have to go to work, and then they start complaining that they do too much housework, and then the money isn't helping. And then they require the guy to get maids, and then before you know it, the guy is sleeping with a maid. It's like, you were not working. All you had to do was do your job at the house. And now you're complaining that I'm paying all the bills and I'm not helping you washing the dishes. And you still want us to hire a maid to come and clean and wash the dishes? Okay, so what's the point? Where's your value as a wife to the man?
But at first, as paying 100% of the bill, she was giving me hell.
Yeah.
I think that women have to understand that coming into contact with a decent man, like, we can talk about good and great, but even decent is very rare at the day and age we're in. And so I think that women need to be more concerned with the position and the blessing it is to be in the presence of a man who's able to accommodate anything for them. Like, being joyful about being around your husband is something that even God calls you to do. And I think that whether he makes a lot of money or a little bit of money, we as women need to learn how to respect the men and their authority in the way that they conduct our household and the things that they break their neck and go out in the world to do for us every single day. And if I was by myself, if before my husband, even if I was paying things on my own, even if he came in and paid 20%, that's 20% less than I had to pay.
Yeah.
So I just think that
You look better now.
She's cooking, guys. She's cooking. And she made a very good point, because this woman is saying women who have to pay 50-50 bills are not happy, and that's why they have bad attitude towards their husbands. But it's like, baby girl, you knew from the beginning that this man didn't make that much money and you guys were going to combine income. So you had a choice to make. Am I going to be a good wife, a feminine wife who's not going to bring attitude towards my husband, even if he's paying 50% of the bills? But instead, you allowed to get married to a man who's making you pay 50% of the bills, and now you're catching attitude because he's only paying 50% of the bills? Now you don't want to be feminine anymore because he's paying 50% of the bills? You knew that from the beginning, but you still chose to get married to him. So it's on you. Don't bring your bad attitude, but because he's not paying 100% of the bills, because you knew that before you got married to him. Man, she's cooking. She looks good, man. Shout out to the married ladies on the panel. Man, shout out to Anton Daniels. Video is 24 minutes. I won't finish it. Link down below. You guys go check it out. Finish it. Yes.